Hey there, it's live, but my camera's all wonky. Okay, is it working? All right. Anyway, hello. Hi, I'm Lise Colucci, one of the life coaches at queenbeing.com. Today, we're going to talk about how and why a narcissist might punish you, ways they punish, why they punish, all of that. So, if you've not hit subscribe here, hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up. We're just going to jump right into this topic of toxic people and punishment, the way they actually punish you. So, um, there is a lot of deliberate punishment that goes on from toxic people. They will set up situations if they feel slighted or wronged or like you are taking their control in any way, and they will try and take the control back and punish you for basically for things they've done, for things they will accuse you of, all kinds of reasons. So let's just talk about that. Um, what they're trying to do often is prove their hierarchy, right? They're trying to prove that their delusional self of being better than other people is the correct world, right? And they're trying to gain control over you. They are trying to hurt you because they feel hurt, they feel slighted, and this goes across the board for people who are toxic with any personality disorder. It could be someone with narcissism, borderline, anything that is the potential for um, toxic behavior is there and used against you. Okay, so and I'm not saying you know I don't want to get too much into the differences between the different personality disorders right now. We can talk about that another time. And I've been asked to talk about the difference between narcissism and borderline many times. And I am struggling just a little bit with how to approach it because I do realize that not all borderline people with borderline personality disorder are hurting others, but there's a heck of a lot of them who do. So, another topic for another time, but that is included in this because it is a major um, component of the way the devalue happens for people with BPD. So, not all of them. It is a different personality disorder from NPD. So, but we're going to lump it together here just to talk about punishment. Okay. So, they will pretty much gaslight you and manipulate you and cause you to feel hurt if they feel slighted in any way. Okay, so there's a story someone told me about. I'm just going to change it all around, but basically, um, dropping something on the floor to how do I word this? Basically, because this person was with someone and the person they were with was innocent, right? They were just doing their thing and they didn't offer to buy the toxic person a meal because they didn't know the person was hungry, and it didn't make any sense in the moment to like they were supposed to predict the needs of this toxic person, right? Because they didn't buy them a meal and take care of them preemptively, later on that person bought food and cooked a meal, no, bought food the person they knew they didn't like. So the toxic person sabotaged and punished the other person's well-being through cooking foods they really knew this person disliked in order to punish them for a past thing that the person who didn't even know that they did. Does that make sense? It is. Oh, hey, UNA, hello. What did you say here? It's a great statement on the internet the other day. It said, "The question is not why the narcissist is doing this to me. The question is, why are you allowing them to do this to you?" I often say also, the question isn't why are they behaving the way they're behaving? It is, well, why do we care about how they're behaving the way they're behaving? And how is it affecting you? And how can you get away? So, yeah, it's true. We know why we're by allowing, what we mean is staying involved and engaging in it. We know why that is, right? We're trauma bonded. We're caught up in the drama. We're caught up in needing to have our side be heard. We're feeling like, so It's a great statement, but we also know the whys of both. I think the point of that statement is put the focus on you and find your way out, right? All right. So let's talk about some ways toxic people will punish. Um, they, yeah, it's all, yeah, okay. There's a whole lot of ways that they punish. So any of the ways that they devalue could either be used as a devaluing tactic to make you feel lesser than them, right? Or to because they're bored or because they're in a bad mood or they can be used to directly punish you. And the difference is when they're punishing you, they know they're doing it. They're deliberately setting something up to hurt you. They will often take delight. They will laugh. They'll gain pleasure from you being affected by the thing they did to punish you. If you are um, like the first example I gave when the person ate the food anyway, even though it was stuff they truly didn't dislike, and they said, "Well," and they tried to make the best of it. The retelling of the story was it was so funny to watch them eat the food because I knew they hated it. So you see, this toxic person got pleasure out of watching somebody have to submit themselves to the punishment that they were receiving. And that's all what it's all about, isn't it? Us submitting ourselves to their bidding, no matter what it is. So that's the difference between a straight up devalue would be more just they did it because they weren't even thinking about it. They just don't care and they just think you're less than them. And so what? That's what we have. Eat it anyway. And and then deliberately going out shopping for food, deliberate. This is a setup. So any of the things that they do, we have to remember that they need supply 24/7 and they have no accountability or they don't take any accountability. So anything that they do is going to be to get the supply. Sometimes they get off and enjoy the punishment. Or they're feeling vindicated. They're feeling like you hurt them or you did something to them, and they need the upper hand back, right? And so they'll punish you in order to get it. Sometimes it is what was I going to say? It was, oh, I can't remember. Anyway, so it'll come to me. I'm kind of got a weird head today, so I'm just gonna keep going. So let's talk about it. Silent treatment. We all know what that's like. And silent treatment is one way that they will punish you. They will do it on purpose, shut down and walk away. They aren't shut down. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes it is punishment and they know they're doing it. I've seen it happen. I've seen it just the flip into silence and the person isn't actually so upset they can't talk, right? And then the stare down that comes, it's meant to make you submit. They even admitted to me it was meant to make me submit. Submit to what? I don't know, but just do it, right? Stonewalling, right? So they won't talk about a topic, they'll talk around the topic. Hear that one a lot, especially if you are counter-parenting with one. You'll get a lot of the stonewalling. So you'll ask a question and they'll answer with attacks. And you're like, "Whoa," and it's like a deliberate shutdown of the topic you're talking about and topic shifting. So say you want to talk about, hey, why didn't you, I don't know, why aren't you communicating? I need some communication in order to know when I'm supposed to pick up the kids. Need some communication. And they say, and they won't talk around it. They say, it's not my fault they don't want to come over because you do this and you do that and you do this and that isn't actually the topic and the children actually do want to come over. So that it's like a stonewalling, shutting you down, not talking about the topic, meant to punish you, meant to make you lesser than them and them to be bigger than you. Another thing, what are you saying here? I would have given the food and said enjoy and gone and gotten my own food. Right. Well, this was an innocent, like a person that has no clue what they're involved with and very new situation for them. And so it would have been a situation where you're still trying to be polite and going, oh, maybe I didn't say I hate this kind of food, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So it was, yeah. And so you can see they'll even punish when they don't know someone that well. Oh, right. Projecting. That's another one. Projecting. A lot of times it's things like accusing you of the thing they're doing in order to punish you before they get caught. So if you're already in trouble, so to speak, if you're already the one who is having to beg for forgiveness, then anything they do can be overlooked. So they're getting away with it, and it's on purpose to punish you, or they have a feeling about the thing they did that was wrong, and they are vicariously punishing you so that you have to pay the price for them. It is the most twisted logic, and I don't even know how to explain this, but if you've had it happen, you know what I mean. Where they will do a thing, they will twist it and punish you for the thing, somehow make you believe through gaslighting and projecting that you actually had some part in whatever the thing is. And then they can watch you take the blame. They can watch you feel the emotions and they don't have to do it themselves when they're the one who did the thing and should be feeling whatever it is. Totally twisted. Um, you need to be learning some of this. Ask questions, Colleen. If you have any questions, I'm a little, my focus is a little off today, and admittedly, so I'm gonna go through this. I have a like one of those headaches starting that's like right here, and you're going, okay, no, not now. And so ask questions, and I will be happy to answer if I'm getting to all over the place. Okay. Um, right. Okay. So other things that they do to punish you. You are welcome. I'm sorry that I'm having to tell you this stuff as well. Um, so obviously smearing. A smear campaign is meant to preemptively punish you, often preemptively punish you before you can get the information out to other people that makes the narcissist look bad. Does that make sense? They are preemptively smearing you. They're punishing you through the smear campaign in order to uh, get other people to be on their side, which punishes you for some thing you didn't do, right? Or maybe you did as much of it, and then they elaborate, right? So maybe you did yell at them once because they were provoking, right? And you got reactive, and they'll tell people, "Oh, they yelled at me all the time." And so then everyone believes them. You're being punished by a group of people. You're being punished by the toxic person, and you have no one on your side, and no one you tell your side of the story, no one believes you. So see how it works? It flips everything into their favor. They win, so to speak. They don't actually, but it's how it feels. Triangulation is what I was going to say next. Triangulation, manipulating narratives with friends and family. Yep. How can they be how can the best response be no response if family is involved? Okay, so then triangulation is what I was going to talk about next. There's different ways that they can triangulate when they're trying to punish you. They can be trying to make you jealous. Okay, so they can be roping in somebody, other people to. So say you have a toxic person, and then there's a partner, and then there's their a family member. Okay, so they may tell you one thing, and then tell the family member that you're doing all these horrible things. And then the family member will be concerned and try and talk to you. Okay. Or they'll say, well, that person's this, that, and they'll start calling you things when they're talking, what they're doing is projecting their self on and pretending it's you that did it. Does that make sense? It's super mixed up. And they're trying, or they can pull someone in to make you jealous, and then at the same time, like sometimes when they're playing two people, like they have supply and then a secondary supply, and you don't know, and so they'll okay, I'm caught. So then they'll play the two, like say if it's a man, and it happens with both genders, but so we're gonna just do this for simplicity. If it's a man and the two women, they'll play the two women against each other. The two women are jealous of one another, and what they really should be doing is both of them turning around and looking at the person and going gross and walking away, right? But it's punishment, and because you both feel punishment, it keeps going, and they get so much supply off that. So that comes back to your question, which is when it's family, when they're pulling in family members, however they're doing it, with whatever way they're triangulating family members in. The reason no response I wouldn't say no response. I would say no engagement. So I don't know what the situation is, but if you have something to respond to, by all means respond. Make sure it's not a an engaged, self-defending, telling your side. Does that make sense? Yes and no is enough, or very, very short replies to the family members to be polite and concise, but not getting in too involved in the story. Because if you feed into the story, you're making the topic a mountain out of a molehill, which is what they want you to do. You're making it a giant topic and you're making it real, right? You're taking something that's not real because they're triangulating and probably projecting and gaslighting everybody, and you're turning it into something real because you're defending against it. That's why, yes, it's better to say less or nothing than it is to engage in it. Plus, when you engage in it, you know you're never gonna get it's never gonna get clarity. You're never gonna make things better. So, because they're gonna just keep gaslighting. So then it's frustrating. And then you start getting reactive. And then you do look like the one who's got the problem, right? Okay, so anything else? Make it seem like you said or did things like they have done. Yep. Yep. Hey, Shatika. I miss your smile, girl. Let's see. Let's see what it is. Situations involve parents with children and stuff. Yeah, see, it's keeping yourself composed and civil and brief. It doesn't matter. You can't fight the smear and you can't fight the triangulation. They're going to keep doing it. If you bore them enough, hopefully they will minimize the doing of it. If it gives them the supply they want, of course they're going to keep going. So, yeah. Okay. Other things they do to punish you. They might keep you up all night long. Sleep deprivation is huge, right? They might even do the same thing with meals. Make it so, like, if you're living with one, you make it so that your meals are 3 and 4 and 5 hours past when they normally would be, so that you're starving, sleep deprived, and grumpy all the time. What it does is it's a punishment that has an extra added benefit for them of throwing you off your game, so that when you are operating on fumes, you're more reactive, you're more emotional, you're more vulnerable, and you start behaving in ways. Everyone knows what it's like to be hungry and reactive. I mean, everyone has had that once in their life, right? Or overly tired and spaced out, or overly tired and grumpy, and so when we're in those states, we are more likely to be reactive, which is what they want. So they're punishing us to get the reaction. And they're doing it on purpose because it keeps them in control. It's all about control, guys. Always. Um, Check sleep deprivation is truly mind bending. It's awful. It's awful. Can take some minor brain fog and turn it into a blinding brain fog. It sure can. Yeah, it's bad. Other ways they punish is they turn others against you, similar to the triangulation, similar to the smearing. But it could be done in other ways, right? Where it's not direct. It could be indirectly done, where they will just turn groups of people against you. And yeah, then you are being punished by many, many people. It could be as simple as, and this is a form of triangulation, but it's a little more subtle, where say they go and play the victim. Say you've left, okay? And you've left them, whether it's a parent or a partner or whatever, or a friend, you've left the situation. You're no longer there. So let's just say it's a narcissistic mom, just for simplicity here. Okay. She goes and tells people at the church you both have gone to your whole life, or a group of friends, or the family at a party. Oh, well, she's not talking to me, or he's not talking to me. Well, I don't know what I did. I don't know, it must be something they're going through, but so they won't play you the bad guy. They'll just play themselves the victim, and they will turn others to thinking something's wrong with you, and then you'll have people after you, and then you're being punished, and then they just sit back and smirk. Worked, right? Okay. Uh, when it's combined with sabotage, no idea. The best adjective for that. Yep. Uh-huh. Okay. Um, so what did I write here? Oh, they go for your vulnerabilities. They will punish you by going for the things that they know you're vulnerable through, right? Like, so if you have abandonment issues, they may storm out a lot, and it's punishment because they are angry, they are upset, they are hurting, they are whatever they are, and they stomp off knowing that that is your most vulnerable thing, right? Or like if they know you fear of them leaving, they will move in with you and keep their bags packed. That is long-term punishment. Okay. They know that it hurts you. They know that it makes you afraid, and they know that it makes you stick around. They know that it makes it so that you won't that it's a threat, that it's a threat. At any minute I could walk away. So there's that. Um yeah. And it's different than it's different than being upset, because a lot of I've had people say, "Yeah, but I say things like that." Okay. It's different than being a survivor who has had these kinds of things used on them. And I'm not saying it's right that anyone does this, but when in distress, when in a triggered situation, when you're triggered as a survivor and you say things like that, "I'm out of here. I can't take this anymore," or something, and you don't it's not a thought out, planned out, premeditated thing. It's reactive. That is a completely different situation than the way a narcissist or a toxic person does this in order to punish you, in order to keep you in your place from the get-go. You see what I'm saying? It's not right either way. We need to learn when we're triggered how to better handle ourselves so we're not hurting other people, and we that's part of the process of healing, and hopefully we get there before we are too deep with other people. But if we already are, then we learn through the process, and we try to heal those parts of ourselves so we're not being reactive to others through our triggers. With a narcissist, when they're doing it, they are definitely keeping you there, keeping you under their thumb, right? It's meant as a manipulation. All right. Mind-blowing realization is that they use a shotgun approach rather than a single bullet approach. Most people have experienced all of these tactics. I sh- I sure was, so I can relate to everyone. Right. Uh-huh. Yeah, and they use all it's not just one, right? I mean, you start reading these, and here's the thing, any one of us can use one of these things once in a while, or as our mode of being, to other people. It happens. But when you are hearing this and you go, "Yep, yep, yep," and it's like a checklist, right? And I'm not doing it as a list, I'm just naming some of the things, right? But you see that this combination makes for toxic, right? Okay. Hey, Jack, thank you. Thanks for popping in. So another way in which they might punish you is cheating. Okay. Sometimes cheating is just because they cheat, right? Sometimes cheating is because they like having lots of supply. Sometimes they cheat because they like to get caught. It's true. Some of them like knowing that they won't get caught. Some of them like the sneaking. Some of them like the lying. Some of them like the power that it has to have multiple people interested in them and giving them supply. Sometimes they do it as a form of punishment. So if they I've heard this more well, I've heard this a lot actually from clients where they'll say, it'll be an attractive person that is the survivor of this, or is the non-toxic person, right, in the relationship. Then it's an attractive person, and they get attention, and they get attention, not like lots and lots of attention, but people smile at them. They're friendly. People notice them. People talk to them. So because that person gets attention in the world, and not even like tons of it, just friendly, nice attention. Not They're not doing anything. That narcissist will see that as a threat, be jealous, and go and cheat in order to be the one to one up. It's like a one upping. Um, yeah, and then they'll throw it at you. Well, you cheat on me all the time, projecting back onto you that you are the problem and you do the thing. And so it's punishment, right? They're punishing you for existing in a friendly manner. Yeah. Let's see what we got going. My reactions depend. Fight mode can be needing them to understand something. She-Hulk can show up if I'm pushed too far. Yep. Um, okay. All right. Okay. So then, ooh, I just crumpled my paper. Okay. Name calling. Obvious. That's an obvious one, right? That's an obvious, like, that's how they punish. Name calling. If you guys have other ways that you've felt like you've been being punished, pop them in there and I will read them. Threats, like I said, threatening to leave, threatening to, it could be anything, financial threats, threatening to smear you, right? Threatening to all kinds of things. What are we saying here? Your eyes rolled at that one. Which one? The name calling? um, okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh, here's one. Taunting, sarcastic humor and taunting. Taunting you is punishment. It's a passive aggressive punishment, right? A lot of covert narcissists will do this. They never actually name call. They just will sarcastically taunt you to where you feel sick inside and you feel diminished, right? Anything, like I said, anything that devalues you is a way that they can use to punish you because it hurts and they know it. Um, oh, name calling, bullying, bullies are mean. Yep, mean people suck. They do. They do. Yeah. So, oh, here's another one. They will often, the more I want to say self-aware, the more, okay, there are toxic people out there. Happens a lot in women. You see it in men too, but it happens a lot in female toxic people. A lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Okay. Where they will be really into researching these psychological issues, researching terms, get really into having all the terminology, right? And so they will even know this terminology that we speak. They'll know it all, but they'll cast the blame onto other people. Um, it's interesting because people will come to talk to me and, you know, ask that question, is it me? Because they said it was me. And I'll say, and I'll talk and I'm like, it doesn't sound like it's you, right? It sounds like it's probably them. Well, how do you know? What if they came to you and said the same thing? Yeah, I can hear and I have to trust that it's, I'm as accurate as I can be. And also it doesn't matter. I'll talk to anyone about the facts. If it fits, it fits. If it doesn't and it's you, then it is. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about if I'm talking to someone. But yeah, a lot of them will learn the terms. They'll learn the phrases. They'll use it. They'll say, "Oh, you gaslit me." I've seen it. I've seen it in Riot. I've seen it in people sending me, "This is what they said to me." I say, "Yeah, but don't you see that's all word salad?" And then they're actually gaslighting you by saying you're gaslighting them because all you did in your your question was ask a question. So, yeah. And that can be really confusing, especially for people who don't want to hurt people when they're told that they are toxic. I mean, I even heard of one of the more self-aware, beautiful people I have ever talked to. Okay. Amazing person accused of being a psychopath by a toxic person. I just laughed. I'm like, that is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. And also it makes total sense because they're projecting their own traits onto you in order for you to take the blame instead of them because they can't possibly face the fact that that's what's going on. Because then they'd have to change, and then what? Right? Well, obviously, we know they can't, but right. Okay, so okay, that's what I got for now about punishment. So what else have you experienced for being punished, if anything? Or do you have any questions unrelated to this topic that you want to talk about? Got a few more minutes here. We can go on. Let's see. Uh, What's the best way to hi Huffle, Mama? What is the best way to avoid becoming a flying monkey? Well, if you know you're talking to someone toxic, keep the conversation on peripheral things, never on specific people. Or if it is going to be on a specific person, make have it be someone you've never even met. You know how they like to gossip, right? Shift it to someone you've never. Ooh, what was that story you were telling me about the lady that lives in such and such town and blah blah? Just change the topic, right? If you find yourself in a situation where you accidentally have said something that you know is going to be then used against a person, so in other words, you've become a flying monkey, clear it up. Own it, clear it up. I didn't realize it. In other words, you got to gray rock and manage the discussions down to as bare minimum as you can so that you're not roped into being a flying monkey. It's tricky when you have known toxic people in your life and you're staying low contact. I think any one of us who has low contact with a toxic person has been a flying monkey at one point or another, most likely, even if it's in a tiny way, right? Because they're not just toxic to their primary person, they're toxic to everyone. So that's either you that's being a flying monkey towards someone else or someone else toward you, especially if it's a family. It happens. So keep it light and if someone says I heard you said da da da, so I'm so sorry, like discuss it. Be like, we have to have some united way of speaking. And if you can't, then limit the combo, right? Oh, withholding intimacy is a big punishment. Heck yeah. And I'm not just talking sex, which you can't say on here, but no, intimacy of all kinds, in any kind of true connection, any kind of closeness. Withholding is big, or insisting on it in order to when you're not remotely in the position to do something. It's another way to punish you, and then saying, "Well, I'll find it elsewhere." Then, right? I have a dog snoring. You hear her? Okay, not a funny topic, so I gotta calm down. Let's see. They absolutely cannot comprehend what you're explaining, and their mannerisms make you feel like the problem is with you. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. There's no point in uh there's no point in having any discussion. That's the thing, is there's no point in if they're punishing through any of these ways, there's no point in engaging with it. Because it's meant to make you engage. It's meant to make you like to give them supply back. They've thrown the ball in your court to see where you'll throw back. And that's what they're doing. What else we got here? Any intimacy, even simple conversation about our kids. Yep. Yeah. A hug, a kiss, a touch. Doesn't have to be like hot and heavy. Any intimacy. And they can withhold, yeah. Or they can have the physical intimacy without any connection. That's punishment too. It's also kind of how they are, but they can fake it. They don't even try to fake it. Okay. Um, you did get today's good. Okay. Oh, okay. Colleen says guilt trips when coercion is used. Oh, the guilt trips. Heck yeah. Especially a narcissistic mama, right? The guilt trips are rampant. Boundaries are disrespected and or lies are called out. Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah, and they guilt trip you through flipping the script, through projecting, through playing the victim, all that stuff. Okay. All right. Anything else, you guys? Okay. Did I miss a bunch? If I did, I apologize again. I've just given up with the scrolling because it throws me off. You've seen Angie and I both struggling with this. So I've given up with it. So I just kind of read where we're at. So if I may miss something. All right. Okay. So I'll head out then if you don't have anything else. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any topics you want me to talk about, please ask in the main comment section, not in the chat, so I can see it and write it down and get to it as best I can. Um, if you're out there being punished, I'm very sorry you're going through that. Just know that it is manipulation and it is meant to hurt you, and that they do mean it. They do. It's premeditated a lot of times. So there's that too. Um, and okay, and if you need help with anything, there is information on coaching in the main description of every video. Also, group coaching is ongoing. You can join anytime. It's an awesome group of people, and if you need it, it's there. We meet 3 times a week and talk, and yeah, on Zoom. So, okay, what are we saying? Someone is interested in group coaching. I forwarded your video about it. Thank you. Yeah, you can just send them. You can always reach me through email as well. It's in the main description of every video. If you need it, have any questions, and I always answer. Try to be quick about it, but do my best. Yeah, so that's it. I think I will see you guys. I'll try to get on tomorrow, or I don't know about tomorrow, Friday. Try to get on Friday, and I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye bye. Okay, I can't even find the button now. There it is. No, that says edit. End stream. There we go. Bye.